Um, Welcome to Election Day. I think I might be making some videos. Who knows how many? But I had an interview earlier today that went well. Now the rest of the day I'm taking off. I'm going to watch the election results. A little bit nervous. Hillary has a great advantage, but it's close enough. Who knows? It could slide one way to the other. Um, I think the thing I've been noticing most is how everybody's trying to convince everybody else, and everybody seems to think you'll win the election. And then they'll say, if Trump wins and I'm against the wall still, they'll be like, elections have consequences. We already voted on that. But, if Hillary wins, they'll be like, we're going to investigate her forever. Um, which is not necessarily, the worst thing. Go ahead and try to do that, though, to a certain degree. It's like, if she's such a murderer, how come people have been harassing and investigating her for so long? Why aren't those people all dead? She chose the wrong ones to kill, I guess. But the real issue is that we need to get over it. I mean, if one of the presidents or the other wins, there's still all these different Congress people. There's still the people of the United States, and we have to come up with some compromises, right? Like, for example, I think a wall is stupid. But if you want to put like 1,000 miles of webcams, uh, you know, I'd do that. And then people could watch them. We'll just stream it to the net all the time, and boom, we'll get our free source. It might even generate revenue. Um, all compromise. Other things like is it okay to torture people? Well, the founding fathers said cruel and unusual punishment for criminals was not acceptable, and Trump's like, well, even if torture doesn't work, they deserve it. Well, those people haven't been convicted. Hey, I'm on air doing it. No, that's okay. Thanks. But I just thought you should know. But so, we're going to have to figure out some compromises. And I don't see anybody wanting to do that. Even in my family, the conservatives are just like, we can't talk about this. I can't even get to an agreement with my mom about whether Hillary Clinton's a communist. I'm like, Mom, I know communists. They're not looking forward to Hillary Clinton. She's too conservative. We don't like her. I'm not even that far left, and I don't like her because she's a war hawk and she's too conservative, and she always would prefer to cooperate with the Joe Liebermans and the 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 Bob Doles of the other side, that she'd like to find Republicans and conservative Democrats to work with and cut out the anybody more to the left than that. And we can't even agree on the fact of, I mean, she could be a corrupt jerk and a totalitarian and all sorts of the terrible things people say. That wouldn't make her a communist. It's just like, no, I hate her and I hate communism, so, or what? I don't even know because I can't even talk about it, even with my relatives. So, I don't see a compromise. I don't see us discussing that maybe we could get away with, like Hillary wants to build, fences and border protection. Not 1,000 foot wall, 10 foot higher, and that kind of bullshit. It's actually a worse thing. There's more realistic amounts of money she would like to waste on certain things. And but I don't see them wanting to do that. I mean, Obamacare is the Republican answer to single payer. We did that. It's like if you come up with this and the other side says, "No, that's crazy. How about this?" and then you do that, and then they hate that just as much as they had hated this, and they pretend they had nothing to do with that. It's like if you offer a compromise and then we go for that compromise, you're supposed to be thankful slash happy or something about that, right? And you're not, because you're not interested in compromise and any successful compromise. And it's not just you, the conservatives. There's that on the liberal side. I mean, a lot of liberals are happy that socialist might not be a dirty word anymore. But I talked to my liberal friends about, hey, maybe libertarian should be made not a dirty word. Oh, no. No, I'll keep that one dirty. I mean, it's just like nobody wants to compromise. That's why I say we probably need to split the country up in two, because there's compromise and moving forward a step at a time and being open minded as to where that road leads, trying to keep it peaceful and compromising along the way. And they're splitting up and doing our own thing because there's enough room to do that. We have enough territory to split ourselves up and still be huge country, huge block. We can have, economic trading agreements and whatnot. Or we're just going to try to crush each other. Well, I see that coming to blows because that's how geopolitics works in the history of the world is, if you're just going to try to destroy each other, these debates we're having are thousands of years old. They don't kill people. So to get rid of that other side, you'd have to actually kill them. And dreaming that you've proved that the wall does make sense and immigrants are a danger, that's not going to happen. You can't see that my tastes about the way I like the world to work is just different. Like, I don't want to take my shoes off on a plane. I would rather have the one in a million chance that I'm going to be on a plane that has a criminal on it that causes trouble for it than not be able to see people off at the gate. That's my preference system. I can tolerate a higher level of risk to have a huge bunch of conveniences and not lose those conveniences. So you can think that's stupid, but I mean your deal. This is a democracy. If you expect everybody to agree, you're in the wrong kind of government. This is not what a democracy is not about. Getting everybody to agree. It's about a bunch of people that don't agree finding a subset of things that they agree on, like, yeah, let's have roads, right? Let's have a police force. Let's have a military. Let's have a fire department. Let's have libraries. Agreeing on just a subset. And if we can't even do that, we're going to lock down the government. If the conservatives are going to threaten to impeach a president that isn't even elected yet, you're just hoping to crush our side. And as far as you guys thinking the social justice side is waning, well, I'm 48, and it's just been getting bigger and bigger and stronger my whole conscious life, childhood and adult. So, okay. I mean, I feel to a certain degree, yeah, I could just wait you out. We don't have to come to blows, but that's not how it's going to be. If we start electing Bernie Sanders as to president after president, this 40% that wants Trump is going to get really pissed. That's going to be a problem. And this is the democracy. We're not supposed to ignore people's views because we can and they're a minority. It, including beyond good and evil, beyond judging that it's evil to have some of those opinions. In a democracy, it's still legitimate for them to be able to have them so long as they don't perpetrate violence. So the problem with that is I don't see a way to be benevolently respectful. I don't want to elect any torture presidents. I don't want to support any of that stuff, pro-torture presidents. So how can I, what are we going to do? You're still going to have to pay taxes at the rate that we say. You're still going to have to, be part of our country. So the only kind thing to do is say, well, I believe in democracy enough to let a bunch of people with bad ideas run their own country and see how it works. I don't think the southern United States would give up democracy and throw it out the window. I think they'd have trouble even rolling back social services when they couldn't blame it on Democrats anymore. Um, because these parties right now just blame each other. The Democrats are in bed with big business, but they blame, you know, the Republicans and their Koch brother ties, right? It goes both ways. Republicans know there's reason for some of the social programs, but they can point at the Democrats and say otherwise. So if they were both their own devices, they would have to answer for a few of these gimmicks that they've been playing using the other guy as the bad guy. I think it's reasonable to assume we'd have an open trade agreement, that we'd have the NFL and other national institutions would become international American institutions. And and then maybe they could try out their own thing one last time and find out for themselves the slow way. that it really isn't a better way to run a country. And if I'm wrong and it is a better way, well, good. Isn't that fair? Let's do that. Anyway, good luck to us all. God help us, everyone.